So where's the office? Back at division?
In the office, baby. Going out.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast.
Sets, fires, touchdown, Garrett Wilson. Wow. In the end zone. Oh, what a catch. Jeremy Rucker, give me that. Fields, the throw, steps up, delivers deep down the field. He's got a receiver. Olave, touchdown, Buckeyes.
Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
What is up? We are back. We're starting our weekly shows, getting geared up for the season. Tonight, by the way, we are starting season 5, in case you guys missed last week's episode. I can't believe this is 5 years in. Got Jeff and Shawn with me. How you guys doing?
Good, brother.
Good.
Feeling good.
All right. So we're getting geared up for this new 2020 season. As fucked up as it's been thus far, it has to get better, right? As always, this show is commercial free. No commercials. We don't need endorsers, people giving us money. We hate money. But please rate and review the show. Maybe throw a 5-star review our way. It really helps other people find the show. Just give us a rating at least. You don't have to write out a review. Subscribe, download the show, and recommend it to a friend. Follow us on all social media and shit. So let's jump right into it, boys. First, we got to kick it off with a little quick bourbon talk. Shawn, I got like a few questions for you. What was that stuff you sent me on Saturday?
What was that? That was a scotch we were having.
Well, the first one you sent was a rye, I believe.
Yeah, and
I was looking at that bottle. What was that?
I turned that bottle around, and let me see. What was that? Where the heck did that say it was made?
It's called Wright and Brown.
Is it it might be out of Portland, Oregon, or something like that. I don't know, but it's not. That's why I laid on that and went with the Balvenie.
Yeah,
I'm saying that right.
The Scotch.
The 12-year Scotch.
Okay,
that was nice.
Yeah, I never heard of that Wright and Brown rye.
This guy's usually got these are usually all gift bottles to him, and so his stuff's usually pretty good. So next time I'm over there, having cigars and having some whiskey.
All right.
Where's there? Where's over there, Shawn?
Just a buddy of mine's house.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Jeff, what's the latest for you?
Sorry, I was gonna say I can't believe there's cool people in Michigan.
He's not from here. He's from New England. Johnny.
Oh,
he's from Boston.
Johnny with the Scotch. Johnny with the Scotch.
You say, pal.
Yeah. As far as bourbon, Joe, I haven't had any other bourbon than Bullet since I talked to you last. So, yeah, I just not getting in something now. Some of that stuff you guys have been talking about and sending pictures of, I'd like to try sometime. But I don't even know at this point, like where do I get started with bourbon? I mean, I know the name brand stuff is good, but I need like a class to get started.
All right, I'll start a class.
It's going to be tell your wife. I'm going to tell my wife it's a 3-day all-inclusive weekend. It's like a retreat.
No,
we're going to do a whiskey retreat. Hey,
we've been thinking about doing that. They have that bourbon trail. You can do like a 3-day, a 7-day.
There you go.
And Yeah, we've been seriously talking about that the last couple of years. Just haven't pulled the trigger on that trip. I heard it's pretty good.
Where's the? Oh, okay. I'll talk to you about
Through
that.
the hills of Kentucky?
Yeah, I think you start in Louisville, and
Yeah.
there's different tours you can sign up and get.
Yeah. Dude, I wouldn't make it out of the first Buffalo Trace stop. I'd be like, I'm staying here for 3 days. Bring us fucking sleeping bag and shit.
Well, down there in Louisville, you've got like 4 of them within a couple blocks, it seems like. I mean, you probably spend 2 days at least right there in Louisville.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, they do maybe a 3-day. I don't know, 7 days. Somebody's not coming home
If they're not burning the fucking place down.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, how often do you get to the liquor store?
Oh, probably monthly.
Okay. Next time you go, especially if you go to ABC or something, you have to ask for Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
Because they've been keeping it behind the counter, and they may only be offering 1 bottle per person. So ask for that. That would be a good starting point. And they don't crank up the prices like a lot of these websites do, and other smaller retailers. ABC sells it at like the standard price, so you're going to get your best deal there. I would recommend
All right, yeah. ABC. I got like 3 other liquor stores. They're like mom and pop. But
Yeah, they'll have it too.
Like, the ABC is part of them.
And that way you got something for me to drink when I come over to your fucking house.
Well, there you go. All right.
Always thinking that.
I'll keep Joe's bottle of Buffalo Trace right next to my bottle, and so Uncle Joe gets his own bottle when
COVID rules.
Come over and see the kids. Hey, kids, right. Uncle Joe, where's my bottle? We had an uncle like that. We had an Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
He had his bottle of 7 Crown in our house.
7 Crown.
I stole plenty of it.
Right.
And he
probably got a little watery
time.
Towards the end of that bottle, didn't
it? Yeah, nobody wanted the last shot.
Or the peppermint schnapps.
I drank that shit with Coke, man.
Oh, gross. Peppermint and Coke?
This
I was 12. What do you want? I was 12.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I was going to say, what were you, 12?
Peppermint schnapps and Coke. Oh,
I was 12, Joe.
Yeah. Did you throw up?
Yeah. Oh, many times.
I mean,
no, on that.
I threw up out of every window in my upstairs bedroom.
Oh,
at least one.
That's hard to do.
Every window. That's 6 windows.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there you go. That's the record, folks.
Show.
Anyways.
Yeah. So keep your kids away from the peppermint schnapps and cola.
Yeah, cola.
So, getting into this show, we're going to do a quick recruiting update. We did have 1 commitment for the 21 class, and then we're going to talk a little too deep on the offense. Recruiting, we got a commitment from 2021. I guess he's a tackle, 3-star Zen Michalski out of Floyd's Knob, Indiana. Not to be confused with Jeff's Knob.
Orlando.
Right.
So, Zen from Floyd's Knob. He put on more than 60 pounds last year. He's now 6'6", 285. He can play tackle or guard, and maybe even a little center if needed. He brings some athleticism to the O-line. So, what do you guys think about this one?
It's hard for me to get too excited about it. I think it's, all right. I think we missed out on a couple of O-line guys. I think this kid's solid. Could end up being a great one. Like I said, I saw a little bit on him. He looks pretty athletic. He's still going to have to put on another 20 pounds. Is that eventually going to slow him down? I don't know. But a 3-star guy with some upside fills out a need in the class, I think. And, he's got a lot of dudes he's going to have to be competing with. So good luck to him.
He's definitely a project. He's not a highly ranked guy like Donovan Jackson or Ben Christman.
Johnson, those types of guys.
In his class, though, they only have two other old linemen right now. So, Jeff, what do you think? What do you think? You have any take on this kid?
Didn't know much about him, but noticed, read about the weight gain, and like Shawn said, he's going to need another 20 pounds probably. What kind of frame does the kid have? Is he going to be able to carry this weight and not just be a heavy big guy? Is he still going to be athletic, still going to be able to move? Who knows? But yeah, the project, I don't know. And with the pandemic, who knows what the timing is with all this stuff? We just came out of a long dead period. Should maybe we hold off on those projects and leave that scholarship open for some of these other big targets that we're trying to pull in, and not start filling up our scholarship count already on projects? Why not?
Well, it's not looking good for Tristan Lee. So he's a heavy lean to LSU. He's really the only other highly rated O lineman in that class. So at this point, you're kind of only looking at project type of pick.
Isn't that Lathan? Is that Lathan? Is he? Are we still trying to get him?
No, he's a Bama commit. We lost him a long time ago.
Oh, I thought maybe we were still hunting him.
J.C. Lathan.
I'm sure Ryan Day would love to keep talking to him, but he seemed pretty committed.
Yeah, Tristan Lee is the only guy even decently ranked that we got a crack at, but he's like all crystal ball to LSU. So
yeah, so I like a guy like this. I mean, a guy like this could be a guy that could go to a Michigan State and become a 3-year starter and then end up a second round pick.
Maybe.
So again, it sucks for those mid-level teams in the Big Ten, which is basically all of them except us. We're taking a guy like that they're like, damn, in a normal times that would be ours.
But think about down the road how it's going to affect our depth at O-line when we got at least one or two project guys that we just took with that Trey LaRue from Norwalk and somebody else in that class. So we keep taking these project guys. I mean, if they don't pan out, you're kind of left with a very thin lineup.
If they don't pan out, they will be out. I mean, Trey LaRue ain't going to be there for 3 years and be a dud. I mean, he's either going to have left by then or I don't know.
And you figure, obviously, these guys, they're, redshirt freshmen. So they're going to have a full year with Mick before they're even asked to challenge for a starting spot.
Mm-hmm.
The low line depth is we've had a lot of kids transfer out though. A lot of those guys from those other classes in the past, the Jack Wallaballs, Feeder, a lot of those guys that have been like the third or fourth lineman in the class. A lot of them have left. So, who knows how? Well, I don't know what the depth. Not having it in front of me, I don't know how many actual tackles we have on the roster. But
I can tell you real quickly. I can tell you real quickly. We have 8 freshmen on the roster now. We have 5 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors. Munford being the only senior starter.
Yeah. So we're
loaded,
we're
young.
We're good, kind of. I mean, unless a lot of those sophomores leave after the junior year. But if we take
one or two of them will, some of them will. A guy like Paris Johnson Jr. is going to come in and blow it up. Probably.
He's probably going to play 3 years and go right.
Probably 2. He probably won't play.
Yeah, I was going to say he won't play this year probably, but he'll play the next two. Paris Johnson will.
They're
No,
talking. He's still. I thought what I'm hearing is he's still fighting for a rotate for a start. Maybe not a starting spot, but at least in the rotation.
Yeah,
Am I
he'll be in the
hearing that
2
wrong?
deep. I'll give you that. He'll be in the 2 deep, but he's not going to be a starter for 3 years.
Okay. Well, my thought was he's not going to be redshirted. He's going to be called upon to play this year.
Right. Yeah, he'll be in the 2 deep, so he's not going to redshirt.
Well, then I think he's going to. Then he starts as a sophomore, and he starts as a junior, and goes and be a first-round pick like Wyatt Davis.
Well, this is
I guess that's what I was saying, Joe.
This is Paris' second year, right?
No, it's his freshman year.
It's true freshman year?
Incoming.
Yeah, he just came in. So
he ain't gonna start this year.
We're losing 4 upperclassmen, 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and then we're going to have a lot of guys that haven't played at all to this point. Now, some of these guys will play this year, like Harry Miller. He'll be a starter. NPF, he'll be a starter. So that's 2 starters that will have this year of experience, but behind them is a ton of inexperience. So anyway, just concerning when we start taking these 3-star guys, it also knocks us down the rankings, the team rankings. So
fuck them
behind them.
Phil, you need
not just this routine, but we've struck gold on 3 stars, man. I mean,
a lot.
Fuck them ratings.
All right.
I mean, I know it's good. It's good for Buckeye Twitter to fucking pound their chest at Alabama Twitter, but it don't mean shit. I mean, really. I mean, like I said, James Nice was a 3-star. Malcolm Jenkins was a 3-star. I know, granted, those were a long time ago. Darren Lee was a 3-star.
Hooker.
Emily Hooker was a 3-star. I mean, Joshua Perry was a 3-star.
Lee.
Whatever. We can name them. Damon Arnett was, I think, a 3-star. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's about what they get developed to. But you never want to look
anyway, welcome aboard. I like it.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
That's commitment number 20. So we got like maybe 4 or 5 more commitments to go, possibly, if that.
And we're waiting on 2 to 3 studs, and then we're going to fill a need. We might take another 3-star O-lineman.
Yeah. Right. And hopefully we land a big fish first. So anyways, let's jump into this 2 deep on offense. Starting off, wide receiver group is going to be super deep. But starting off at quarterback, this one's pretty cut and dry, right? I mean, there's not really much debate.
The 2 deep's not cut and dry, I don't think.
Well, it should be. You think a 2 freshmen have a chance at backing up Fields?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
He's been there since
the income, like the backup. There's like no 2 ways about it.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Why? These guys haven't even seen the playbook for more than 6 months.
So what? Fuck, Justin Fields didn't see it for more than that. Before he started kicking ass.
Okay, then who do you think is going to back up Justin Fields?
I don't know.
That's what I'm just saying. I think it's wide open. I think it's most likely Hoke. But I do not rule the other 2 out.
Okay.
CJ.
So week 1 depth chart, you could easily see a freshman behind Fields.
Hey, put words in my mouth, man. I just said it is possible.
All right, anything's possible, right? Didn't somebody wise once say that?
Yes.
We'll see.
Now,
Jeff?
Ryan Day, I've heard, the only quarterback I've heard him say other than Justin is Gunnar Hoke. I've never heard him mention either one of the freshmen by name. And just the little clips or whatever that he says to reporters or his press conference or whatever. I'm sure that's what it looks like right now. I think that changes. I think it changes over the year because I think these freshman quarterbacks, both of them, are legit. I think one of them will ascend if we, if we play the whole season.
Yeah, we're
I
going
think
on the
we'll
assumption.
start seeing Gunnar Hope or one of them, and the two instead of just saying.
I mean, in
like
blowouts, are you going to want to put Gunnar Hoke in there to get experience, or are you going to want to put in Stroud or Miller?
Well, that's my reasoning behind it, Shawn. Is that I think I guess we don't know what the development's like of the two of them. So maybe one of them's more progressed, and one of them they might just redshirt completely and not even try to get him playing time.
I think they try. I would really want to try and get both those guys playing time, frankly, and maybe even switch it up.
Give him a shot going into the next year.
They've both seen some snaps, and I mean Gunnar Hoke is there in an emergency, and I guess I kind of want him to get a few live reps throughout a season in case we actually do need him. But I don't want to try and develop Gunnar Hoke at this stage. I want my young guys to get playing time.
Sure.
Yeah, but how many games Gunnar Hoke played? I don't know. I'm asking.
I have no idea. Can't be more than a handful.
Right. So if something does happen to Justin, or sprained ankle where he's gonna be out 2 weeks, or fucking COVID, he's out 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
we need Gunnar. We need any of that is possible. It's hashtag.
I agree. Gunnar is the guy. But I think
he needs reps, but the young guys need reps too because the young guys are going to be taking over the spot next year.
Exactly.
So right. Well,
who do you trust with I
trust Ryan Day. I trust Ryan Day to get him ready. I do. You know what I mean? I trust Ryan Day in that offense system.
And I think both those kids are high quality kids. I think those kids are working their asses off to get that.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
I've only heard good things about both those guys.
My too deep is Fields and Oak. Shawn, you're too deep.
It's Fields and TBD.
Oh, here we go. Come on, Herb. Put away the oars.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. We're going to have Gunnar Hoke or C.J. Stroud.
Or Jack Miller.
Or
there's no limit. Well, you can use oars all day long.
A, B, and C.
Yeah.
I'm going C.J. Stroud.
All right, Jeff?
And then Justin Fields.
Right now?
No.
Right now, Gunnar Hoke is my back.
Okay. Running back. So we're hearing word about kind of a split carry system right now. Teague is coming back. He's in good shape from the injury. Just today, Tony Alford said he could not put Teague on the field for 60 to 70 plays like a JK last year, So look at more of a 50-50 split almost between Trey Sermon and Teague. So you want to go? Let's just do 1-2. Who do you think starts in front of the other? Because I don't think Steel Chambers, Crowley, DeMario is not even included in the running back room anymore. Mayan Williams, it's pretty much what you got to work with right now. Crowley is not even ready, so it's Sermon, Teague, Steele, and Mayan Williams, and walk on Xavier Johnson.
Okay, I'm rooting for Trey Sermon. I want Master Teague to take all the time he needs to be 100%. But we got Trey Sermon for 1 year. I'm looking forward to it. I want him healthy and tearing that shit up.
Okay.
Master Teague backing him up, kind of how it turned out to be JK with Weber at the end, where Weber was just kind of spelling JK. That's how I'd like to see it.
What do you think, Shawn?
I think if Master Teague is 100%, then he's the starter. He's in the one spot. If he's 80%, he's probably in that 2 spot. You guys are sleeping on my guy Steel Chambers. Steel Chambers is going to get some serious carries, and he's going to blow your minds. And I'm pulling for Steel.
Okay.
And if Teague's not 100%, it'll be Sermon and Steele. Be my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Sermon,
Shawn,
Teague. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, Shawn. I like all three of them. I truly do. If 2 of them are still, because I know they're all coming back from injury. Correct. Sermon had
Steele's not.
Well, Steele's not right. Okay, but
Right.
Trey's coming back from injury. Yeah, whoever's healthiest, but I think we have I think there's a lot of depth right there. I don't think we don't need to rush anybody back from injury.
I agree. I think we got some. I mean, I'm happy with any of those 3 toting the rock, and maybe Mayan Williams. We'll see. He'll probably get a few carries, and then Crowley. If Crowley can get healthy, that's a lot of dudes that can run a football.
I think Crowley's one of the most talented out of the bunch, but he's not be able to stay healthy. Trey Sermon I wanted him back coming out of high school. I was pissed that we didn't get it. But
then he can't even keep the job at Oklahoma?
Injury. I think it was more than that, but we'll see. I mean, if he's not up to standard, we have the people pushing him. Master Teague is a force. So, I mean, if he's not up to the challenge, yeah, Master Teague will take over that starting spot. I don't know. I'll be happy with where we go with that.
If Teague's healthy, Teague's going to be the guy, I think.
I think week 1, I see Sermon getting the bulk of the carries. Teague definitely mixed it in there, so maybe a 60-40 split just to save Teague, because week 2 we got Penn State coming up, and we're going to need everybody healthy. So I think Sermon.
If you can run two or 3 fresh backs at somebody,
yeah,
that's just like having fresh defensive linemen.
Right.
It's a huge advantage.
All right, let's get into these receivers. We got a shitload to choose from. This is fucking loaded. Brian Hartland himself said he's almost 3 deep at every position. We won't go that far, but let's go 2 deep. Let's go the X and the Z in the slot. So we got 3 wide receiver positions to choose from here. Got to start Chris Olave, right? He's a starter.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson at the slot. That's already been established that he's moving to the slot. From there, we've got a mix of a couple older guys that haven't really seen the field, and Jalen Harris and Elijah Gardner. Then we got a ton of young guys.
Did I see something about Cam Babb too?
Right, yeah, he's healthy. So who knows what to expect from him. 3rd year in the program kind of guy. So you got Jamison Williams, sophomore. You got the 4 freshmen, Fleming, Cooper, Jackson Smith and Jigba, G. Scott Jr., and
Is it G
Demario. It's G. It's not butter. Then you don't
sure
forget
it's not
about
Gee? It's G?
Yeah.
I thought it was G.
I thought it was Gee.
It's not E. Gordon Gee. It's G. Scott Jr.
It's spelled the same. Anyway, G's cooler. I mean, I'd go with G over G, but all right.
And then you got Demario. Don't forget about Demario mixed in here, most likely in the slot. So same with JSN.
I hope he's healthy.
I think Jackson is another guy in the slot area. So let's start at the Z with Chris Olave. Who do you got backing him up?
I'm trying to think. I think you might have one of
J-Mo.
the freshmen.
J-Mo, you want to go Fleming? You want to go G. Scott?
They're all Z.
Well, who did you have in your one spot? You had Olave, Wilson, and who else?
I got Williams, Jameson.
Oh, on the other side?
No, I got him in the Z, backing up Olave, in my opinion. At the X, I'm kind of up in the air here. I think you could do.
I think Jameson Williams might get that X.
I think.
Okay.
I like that kid.
You're going to have some freshmen probably backing him up.
I think you're going to have freshmen backing up maybe both of them, Olave and him. Well, and Wilson, unless Bab or one of these older guys can show out. I think Bab's not been healthy. I thought I heard something, some good stuff coming out on him. Like, he could be, the big. We got a bunch of. We don't got any huge like bruiser guys. I think Bab's a little bit bigger than. I don't know. Picture I saw he looked pretty good.
Dude, Scott looks. He feels. He's a big boy. He
looks like T.O.
No, he's big, man. Like Jalen Harris. He's built like Jalen Harris. Jalen Harris is like 6'5".
Jalen Harris is a big dude. Yeah, he's a big dude.
G. Scott's like 6'3", but still.
Yeah, he's every
he's
bit
210, 215.
10, yeah.
So,
let's
follow this together.
A lot of playing. I mean,
so let's go Olave at the Z starter. Then we'll go. You want to go J-Mo at the X?
Yep.
All right, and then Garrett Wilson at the slot. We're not arguing that.
Yep, that's how I think it rolls.
So then two behind them. Who's behind Olave at the Z? You got Fleming, G.
I think it'll be Fleming
Harris.
Or Smith Njigba. Or is that Smith Njigba going to be in the slot?
He's a slot. Yeah, he's a slot.
Fleming,
he was
I guess,
untouchable
right?
Scrimmage.
And
you got DeMario. Don't forget about him in the slot.
I won't. That's my boy Run DMC.
Yeah.
The Pro Run DMC podcast.
Very pro Run DMC. I would just wish someone else would be. Anyone that calls plays and can get him the ball. I'm for that guy. But gosh, what a time for Run DMC to get through there. Get a few injuries here and there, and just the dudes that you've seen go through that program. It's like, fuck, how do I start with all these dudes?
Yeah. So
I'm hoping Cameron Babb kind of has a resurgence like Johnny Dixon did. Highly touted, but injury after injury, keeps fighting back. I read a story about Cameron Babb. He's finally healthy now, feeling good. I hope he can contribute the way Johnny could.
So, but judging by who we know, what we know, who do you have backing up Olave? I think it basically has to be a freshman or one of the.
I think it's Fleming.
Okay. All right, Jeff. What do you think? You want to go G? You want to go Jalen? You got.
I'll go G. I'll go G. Scott. Not being able to get those reports from practice to really see who's winning day by day. Since we don't really have any access of, who's progressing better than others.
Yeah, I got a hard time seeing Cameron Babb in a 2-deep just because he just hasn't been on the field,
Right. When are they putting out?
What's that? I can't hear you.
When is the next 2-deep coming out? The next one.
There'll probably be one the week before the first game.
Okay.
Are they obliged?
There's going to be a lot of freshmen. Those freshmen will be all over it for sure.
Oh, I think you'll see the typical Buckeye. It'll be or. You'll have a 4-deep at some of these positions.
Yeah,
right. I
exactly.
think so too.
Especially for week one.
Right.
It might get whittled down a few weeks in, but I agree. So I'm going to go Olave. I agree. I'm going to go Fleming. And then at the X, I'm going to go. I agree that JMO needs to be. Boy, I got a tough time putting him at the starter, though. Looking at his snap counts. I'm just looking at his snap counts last year. He only had 150 snaps.
Well,
most of those were garbage time.
It's either him or it's Cameron Babb or it's freshman. And none of them had any snaps.
Jalen Harris.
Elijah Gardner. You know, and how many did Jalen Harris have? Hardly any. I don't think he had more than 150, did he?
I'll go JMO and backing him up, probably G. Scott Jr. And slot, I got Wilson and McCall, DeMario backing up Garrett Wilson. JSN will be nipping at DeMario's heels. He'll probably get some snaps. I think Mookie Cooper, he didn't have a whole season of high school football because he transferred. So I think he's kind of out of the mix. Especially at the slot. You know.
Yeah.
It has to be. So, all right, tight ends. This is a deep group right now. Luke Farrell, Jeremy Ruckert, Jake Houseman, all upperclassmen. Houseman and Farrell, the seniors. Cade Stover, the semi-recent move over from defense. Right, and Joe Royer, freshman.
I think the depth is damn near the way you just read it off.
Yeah, I think you read it.
Houseman.
Okay. I was just going by age.
I agree. I agree. That's the way it goes. I think Ruckert. I bet Ruckert ends up with most catches out of all the tight ends. But I think Farrell starts the majority of the games. And maybe he plays the majority of the snaps.
Rucker's more of that pass catching tight end, where the other two are more blocking types, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And still, Jake Houseman, even though he's a senior, he had half as many snaps as Farrell last year and 170 less than Jeremy Ruckert. So keep that in mind. Houseman might be relegated behind Ruckert.
I think so. I think I think Farrell's your guy and Ruckert's your pass guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Red zone spread, the jump balls.
It's weird that they thought though you'd think with Farrell and Ruckert and Houseman and the new guy Royer, why did they feel the need to bring what's his name over? Or do they got something special planned for him? Yeah, why? You got those four guys. How many do you need?
He's super athletic, though.
Andy's on defense. He's probably mean as can be. You get him out there, he might just chew up a linebacker.
Kind of like what they did with Rashad Berry.
Right.
Rashad Berry, defensive end, came over. I thought Rashad Berry always played well at tight end. He wasn't asked to do a bunch, but he made a lot of blocks. He was athletic enough.
He made some catches. He was athletic.
Yeah. Maybe they're thinking the same way. The Stover was playing linebacker, right? Not defensive end.
No, he was in DN.
Was he a DN? Okay, all right.
Yeah. And outside linebacker. He played they had him in two different defensive rooms.
Probably that 250-pound range.
He's that tweener guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude, super athletic, and probably can put on some more weight. So it's do you want him, on offense at tight end, or you want him on defense at D end? And they're kind of loaded at D end right now. So I can kind of understand moving him to tight end because Farrell, Houseman will be gone. Ruckert could go, so you could be down to just two tight ends after this year.
Yeah.
And they got Sam Hart coming in 21. Right. So I think depth was the reasoning.
3 tight ends. I don't know if you'd want more than 4 on your roster. Really.
Right.
But in college, college is different because you don't have a roster. You don't. It's not in the NFL. With 53 man, you got to make cuts and you got to be thin in spots. You can pretty much carry as many as you want. But you're not going to play more than 4 tight ends. Now we don't have the offense that plays more than 4 tight ends. That's on rotation and everything else. Rarely are we in 2 tight ends at a time.
Okay. Yeah. So
I don't think
O-line, let's run through this O-line real quick. Starting at left tackle, we got Munford coming back, of course, the senior. Backing him up, I'm kind of leaning towards Dwan Jones. What do you guys think? We've got Max Ray also out there. He's practiced there.
I think Dwan Jones. I know he was on. I know he's still fighting for the right tackle spot. Been updated on that. But I know he was challenging MPF for the right tackle spot. So if he doesn't win that, yeah, definitely him backing up left tackle.
Not. I don't know. You guys are talking so much now about Paris Johnson Jr. If he's everything that he's supposed to be, could he?
He's on Paris Johnson's on the 2 deep. I don't know if he's going to be a left tackle 2 deep, but I think Paris Johnson makes it 2 deep for sure.
Well, that may be a good point why Dwan Jones goes over to left tackle 2 deep. But I thought I heard the same as you, Jeff, that he was like him and Petit Free in that right tackle battle.
Yeah. So I think maybe the
agree.
loser of the right tackle battle is the backup at left, or
I would say
they
vice versa.
Right.
I would say the loser of the left tackle job goes to right.
Well, Mumford's at left tackle, so there's no battle.
No,
there.
the backup job, because you got. I think NPF's starting at right tackle personally. I don't think a freshman.
Then Dwan Jones is my backup left, and Paris Johnson is probably maybe he's kept inside. Maybe he's got his run blocking's better.
Who else is out there to choose from on there? I know there's some guys that I'm missing.
You got Max Ray.
Like you said, yeah.
Some of the inside guys at guard, you got the starter will probably be Harry Miller at the left, Wyatt Davis at the right, of course. And then behind them, you got Matthew Jones, Gavin Cupp, Josh Fryer is a young guy, Enoch Vamahe is a second-year guy, Ryan Jacoby, Jacob James. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tons of dudes.
Yeah.
I saw stuff they think VMOC will be backing up Harry Miller at that left guard spot.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him as like probably the third guard. Yeah, we're left or right. That probably goes for both of them too. The third tackle. He's gonna back up the right and the left, the first guy. So maybe you say if Dwan Jones is the number 2 left tackle, if the right tackle goes out, he's going over there. Take the third tackle. Yeah, that would make sense.
Unless one of these other guys have been in the program, Gavin Cupp or one of them.
Been in the program a while. All right.
Matt Jones. It's got to be Matt. Got to be Matt Jones' 3rd year, right?
Matt Jones. Is Matt Jones? Is he the one from Erasmus Hall in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
He's a sophomore. So yeah.
I think they're probably the two stud football players they put out in the last 10 years. Both went to Ohio State. I don't know about Erasmus Hall putting out a lot of talent in Division I football.
So I think your starting 5 is left to right: Thayer Munford, Harry Miller, Josh Myers, Wyatt Davis, and PF.
I'd agree.
Backing them up, I think you got at either tackle spot, either Dwan Jones or Paris Johnson, interchangeable left to right, right?
Okay, keeping the freshman at tackle, not moving them inside. Okay.
Yeah.
I was picturing him moving inside.
But
Dwan's so tall, and he's got that long reach. He plays basketball and stuff. I mean, I don't see how you move him down inside.
That's what I heard when I heard he was like doing some reps at guard And I'm like, is this a whole new style of offense? A 6'7" guard? That's, I mean, 6'5's getting big. I feel like 6'3", 6'4 is where you want your guards.
Yeah. So then behind them, I got we got the tackles figured out. I got Matthew Jones at guard behind Harry Miller, and Enoch Vamahi behind Wyatt Davis. I mainly went with them just because of their experience in the program. Like we just talked about, Matthew Jones is a third-year guy. And Vamahi's a second-year guy, so that's how I was thinking. And I got Whippler. I know he's younger, but I got him coming in
Max,
at
right?
center. What's that?
Max Whippler?
No, Luke Whippler. You're thinking of Max Ray.
Max Ray.
He's a.
You think Whippler's coming in and backing up Meyer?
I think it's very possible.
That Matt Jones got that locked up.
Okay. They could also move Harry Miller over to center and slide Matthew Jones up to the guard.
I would picture something like that because Harry. I know Miller worked at center when he came in as a freshman, knowing he was a backup. But I think he's better suited to do both.
Yeah.
Just like all of our other guards, the centers have done.
I don't know. You got this Gavin Cupp that's a senior. He's been with, Mumford and Meyer and Davis for years now.
He's been with made guys.
He has been with made guys.
But he hasn't played much, Shawn. He's only got – last year he had 174 snaps, man. So it's not much.
And for reference, they run about, 80, 90 plays a game. So that's just over 2 games experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to count out snaps. Right?
Well, to put it in perspective, Josh Myers is over 900 snaps. Wyatt Davis over 900. Thayer Munford 850. Jonah Jackson last year over 900. Brandon Bowen was over 800. NPF though 240. Harry Miller 180. Gavin Cupp 174. Matthew Jones 114. So Dwan Jones only 90. So got to keep those keep it in perspective.
Dwan Jones was kind of that that big possible project or big prospect, but we needed to get him in shape and all that kind of stuff. So he wasn't a finished product.
Yeah,
but
definitely he still isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're trying to get him to a certain point where next year, after our 2 All-Americans leave, or maybe 3. I don't know. All 3 of them won't be All-Americans, but all 3 of them are going to be draft picks. Myers, Davis, and Mumford. He's going to be the next guy coming in. Yeah.
True that.
We expect him to be the next first-round draft pick. Or all Big Ten line.
All right, so let's talk about the football we've seen thus far with the SEC and Big 12. You want to start with shit show?
Which one?
I got a shit show for you.
Let's go Texas.
I'll take Texas
how is
10?
Go.
How is Tom Herman still employed?
Yeah.
How hot is the fire down in Austin?
It's got to be heating up. I mean, he brought in his defensive guru from the 2014 staff, Chris Ash, and their defense looks worse, if that were possible.
He's got Chris Ash in there. He's got his quarterback. He's got his people. He's been there.
Big 12 sucks the defense out of you. You just forget how to tackle if you get in the Big 12.
Yeah, why would a DB ever sign with Texas or Oklahoma? It's like you will lose your talent as you go day by day.
Yeah.
The thing is, because they throw the ball 60 times and you get like twice as many pick opportunities as playing in the Big Ten. So you're like, fuck it, I had 10 picks. But you were on one of the worst defenses in the country.
We gave up 7 touchdowns, but I fucking had 3 picks, bro.
Somebody needs to explain how Texas won that game after being down 15 with 3 or 4 minutes left. Jesus Christ.
They should have lost that one. No doubt. That was
TCU's got their number. That should be their rival, not Oklahoma. TCU beats them like 5 out of the last 7.
what?
Yeah. TCU
owns their ass.
Yeah. And
Really?
speaking of, we got the Red River rivalry this week. Oklahoma, Texas. I don't know if anybody even gives a shit.
I do not.
And how?
Spencer Rattler. Okay, so can we say now that Lincoln Riley is not actually the son of God that produces Heisman quarterbacks, and Spencer Rattler is not the next Heisman Trophy winner? Are we safe to say that at this point?
Exactly. This is what it's like to develop a quarterback from a freshman. Growing pains.
Is Spencer Rattler a freshman?
He's a sophomore. Burn it.
I mean, say what you want about that kid. Doesn't he have some it's not like Oklahoma's not putting up enough numbers, right?
Oh no, they are. I mean, nobody questions their offensive output. I mean, that's the same deal across the board in the Big 12. I mean, if you really want to look at programs there, I would say TCU is the only one with a defense.
They got Texas.
The only one that focuses on defense, at least.
Exactly.
Texas could lose 2-3 more. Shit, they could lose the next 2 in a row. Or
I could say the same for Oklahoma.
Well, I was looking at Oklahoma's. Yeah, Texas, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma's putting up, 30 plus, 37, 38 points a game. But they're losing. What's that tell you?
They're losing because the other team's scoring more.
Thank you.
That's how that works.
Thanks for explaining that.
I just need to break it down for you. Why is not a focus on defense in the whole goddamn conference? I mean, it's not. This isn't new either. This isn't like a 2020 thing. Oh, everything is crazy.
I think you get out there. I
Why
think
not?
part of it stems from that part of the country where you hear about these like smaller towns out there in like Oklahoma and that they don't have traditional football teams. But they do like 7-7. 8-on-8, like that's their league.
Yeah.
So maybe
that
might have something to do with it. That a lot of those kids grow up kind of playing that, and they don't learn smash mouth, run the football type stuff too much.
Right.
It's all crossing routes and shit.
You know what, Shawn? I think without knowing that, obviously, not knowing the area or how that. I don't know how they recruit.
I have no data to back that up.
But I think you're right. I think you're onto something right there.
So Oklahoma State is really the team in that conference to be concerned about. These guys are already lighting it up again. They haven't really played anybody. So, they beat Kansas, West Virginia, Tulsa. So,
I tell you what, I watched Tulsa Saturday night play UCF, and Tulsa plays defense. Tulsa plays defense. They beat up UCF Saturday night.
Yeah, but my point is on Oklahoma State. They're just beating
Tulsa. I'll tell you what, Tulsa wouldn't beat up Ohio State.
Well, no, of course not. No,
they shouldn't beat up on a Power 5 school.
No, listening to Zach Smith podcast, his Big 12 pick was Oklahoma State. Not that he's a fucking college guru, but he was picking them only because he fucking hates Tom Herman, one.
Right.
And wasn't sold
we'll never know.
But he wasn't sold on Spencer Rattler either at Oklahoma. I think that's why. I think that's the genesis of his pick. But
right.
He's had some fun. He's had some fun and some enjoyment at Tom's expense over the last week.
I got to know, why is Alex Grinch getting paid $1.8 million to be a defensive coordinator? Who decided this guy's a guru? I mean, he
you know
came
what
from
he's got on his
Washington
resume?
State.
He's got
Texas has more money than they don't know what to do with. And Tom Herman's going to get what Tom Herman wants, and it's failing. I think everybody, frankly, is going to kind of get a pass this year, called the COVID 2020, whatever. Could he take them to new lows and watch Texas lose 5 games? Will he be calling for his head then? Maybe, but I think he'll at least have one more year.
If they lose 5, oh man, they're gonna make a change. The boosters are gonna.
The problem is, who do you go get? Another upcomer? You've been shit for a while.
You're not getting anybody in COVID. You're not getting anybody.
You go get row your boat guy, Fleck.
You got
Watch Grinch get elevated to head coach after Herman gets fired after a fiery fucking conversation. He flips out on some boosters, and then they just
Herman might lose.
We're already paying him 1.8. They tell him, hey, look, we're gonna make you the head coach, but we're not raising you. You're staying at 1.8, but you're the head coach.
Texas is gonna pay their head coach, dude. They don't got no problem doing that. But the only way that Grinch is getting it is if Herman blows his top mid-season and walks out on the job, or they throw his ass out, and then you're interim coach for the rest of this year.
Yeah,
because Herman loses his shit and tells the president to go fuck herself.
Remember Mike Yurcich?
Like, what do you want me to do with the defense? 2020, it's fucked up. That dude though, he's got Ohio State defensive coordinator on his fucking resume recently.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't a good resume though. How about Mike Yurcich making 1.7?
It was perfect. It was
he made nice with Herman. He made nice with Herman, and Herman just like Ash and who was the other guy? Oh, Iowa State dude we brought in. The quarterback's coach.
Oh, Herman.
No, Herman then took it back. I'm sorry, I couldn't. But I mean, Herman's taken all the guys that we brought in with him, and they're all getting paid because
he fired Beck. And Beck is at NC State or something now.
Yeah, we fired him. He fired him to fucking master deflector. The fucking heat coming on him. He's like, our old coordinator, my old buddy. Yeah, he's fucking garbage. Get him out of there.
Yeah, he tried to. Yeah, he tried to make Beck one of the scapegoats. Yeah. So, all right. So,
I mean,
how about the SEC?
I'm not a Zach Smith fucking truth believer, but I think he exposed Tom Herman for kind of who he is. I think he kind of is that. That's the impression I get.
Yeah, I think Tom Herman is really smart, just like he likes to, talk about how smart he is. Yeah. But he's also a dickhead, and he's
right,
and not a good coach. More importantly, as it applies to college football,
his mindset's too manipulative. I don't know if there's enough passion there. Like Urban Meyer and Ryan Day. Of course, it's psychological. Herb was the big psych major, whatever, and it's head games. What they're passionate about, they care about it. I feel like Tom just cares about himself and I want to be this guy.
He worries too much about
the love. I don't feel like the love for the kids that I see out of other schools for the coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, he cares too much about
that little hug before every game. He hugs every player single file. Hey, come on.
It looks made up. Like, I hate you, dude. Why you make me do this?
You don't even know me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy didn't even know my fucking name. But they show video of it because it's.
I know your name. Turn around.
Hugging his voice.
Turn back.
Turn around.
So let's talk about the SEC and see what's going on there. You got
there
the
ain't
big
nothing
dogs.
going on there. It's worked
Nothing
itself
at all.
out. No.
The cannibalization of each other is what you're saying?
Man,
Georgia and Florida take care of itself.
Okay.
And then they got to play Bama.
Yeah, I don't see it any other way. That's it, Shawn. That's it. I don't see it any other way.
Florida looks pretty damn good to me. And Georgia has.
Florida looks real good. No, I think Florida can play with Bama. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't. But if Georgia doesn't get better, if Georgia doesn't figure out that fucking quarterback spot, Georgia's trash, and Florida will fucking mop them in Jacksonville.
Is it funny how they moved on from Dwan Mathis real quick? After half. Yeah, we dodged the bullet there, fellas.
Yeah. So Georgia's in trouble, man. Because I watched that Auburn Georgia game, play by play, right in front of me. Holy shit! That's Stetson. What's his name? Stetson Barrett. I think his last name is Barrett. I told Rebecca. I told my wife while we're watching the game. I said, this guy sounds like he should have like a third or fourth behind his name. And then they showed his jersey. I'm like, he has a fucking fourth. I told you, fucking Barrett IV. Yeah, garbage. Fucking garbage. And don't get me started about Auburn. There's no Iron Bowl. They shouldn't even play the Iron Bowl this year. With Bo Nix at quarterback, this stud sophomore, right? Had a flashes of brilliance freshman year, but struggle because he's a freshman. Sophomore year, their offense looks like dog shit. And who did Malzahn bring in as the fucking offensive coordinator guru? Chad Morris. We've heard this fucking name, Chad Morris. They look like dog shit against Georgia, and Georgia was dog shit themselves. I'm not kidding you. I don't.
So you think the SEC is
it's Florida and
Bama, Florida?
I think so. I do. I don't see it any other way. Auburn doesn't. I mean, now granted, this is opening weekend or second week.
Mm-hmm.
They could get better. I mean, everybody can improve and look night and day, but Auburn looked like trash. Total trash.
Oh, well, as it turns out, we're going to find about Georgia sooner rather than later because they play Bama in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a nice little schedule Bama's got.
Bama looks like Bama.
Yeah, but they got a tough schedule, man. They don't have a bunch of fucking cupcakes.
They don't got their North Carolina Eastern Coastal.
Yeah, they're going to learn real quick what it's like to play a fucking conference schedule. You can have your Missouris and Texas A&Ms, but Tennessee's not as shitty as they used to be.
I'm not sold on them yet. They'll shit the bed. They will. I have no faith that they won't shit the bed.
They are still Tennessee. I don't see. I mean, Georgia gives Florida a game, and that's about it. I mean,
but Tennessee could beat Georgia or Florida, and then get blown out by
everyone else.
Here we go. We got the Saban versus Laney this week.
What?
Ole Miss. Yeah. Bama coming to Ole Miss.
I was interested to see
take a shower after you leave that game.
Yeah, not because of the weather. So that's going to be an interesting one.
I was interested watching Lane play against Florida opening weekend, just to see if Lane's got anything going in Ole Miss. He's got a little bit going in Ole Miss. He does.
Does he?
He doesn't have the talent to play with Bama right now, but he's got some fucking, he's got a quarterback. He's got a quarterback that can run around, make some fucking weird ass plays, and that has worked against Bama in the past with not a whole lot of,
Laney's running around there saying, "Hey, what's that booster's number that played Kendiche and all those other guys that come here that one year?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna need his number.
I don't think you have to look too far to find a bag of cash.
Hey, that guy met him at the private jet when they hired him. It was probably that dude's jet that he fucking rode on.
Yeah,
One week, Ole Miss gets 3 top 10 kids. Like, what the fuck?
It's Lane. He's a quarterback guru.
I'm like, did nobody watch Johnny Be Good? From the 80s.
Right.
Coach, I think I broke my dick.
Rub some dirt on it and get back
I
in.
love that movie, bro. I saw that movie in the theater, I think, when I was 11.
That's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I see Bama doesn't have Florida on the schedule, though. I hope they're doing a championship game because that will be necessary. How about LSU?
I don't
think LSU is going to hang around?
If I didn't call that, I go look at the last maybe few podcasts ago. I knew they were going to be trash. How were they not going to be trash with losing Joe Burrow and like
15.
11 other guys in the draft?
15 dudes.
15 starters. 15
Starters.
starters.
And everyone's got that they're going to be so good. I'm like, why do you think they're going to be for shit? They're going to lose a bunch more.
Yeah. They got to go to Florida in 2 weeks. They got to go they got Bama coming in. They got to go to Auburn. They got to go to Texas A&M. You got an
maybe an L.
Mississippi mixed in there, but yeah, those could be all L's. That's
Those
3 right
could
there.
very realistically be all L's.
They'd be lucky to go 500.
15 starters going off your team, and all 15 got drafted. They broke the record for draft picks and all that shit. They lost so much. They got a stud corner, Stingley Jr.
And Joe Burrow was a different guy. I mean, you're just not replacing that.
No. With it Miles Brennan? Come on.
I don't think they can win with any other guy other than Joe Burrow. Win that last year. No way.
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, they lost 15 starters, and the 16th starter was Jamar Chase, who was opting out. So they actually lost 16 starters. 15 got drafted. One of them opted out. Oh, and the one that got opted out, yeah, he's the best receiver in the country. So, their other 2 receivers get drafted.
I don't see how they. I don't see how they go better than 5.
I watched the Mississippi State game. It's Mike Leach. He's gonna throw the ball 60 times a game. He's throwing it 60 times a game, and they got fucking smoked throwing the ball.
600 yards passing.
Yeah.
By a transfer from Stanford. Transferred from Stanford. Yes.
Costello. Yeah.
Threw for 623.
623. 6 touchdowns.
Against DBU? Against DBU?
On DBU, yeah. DBU needs to post that shit on Twitter. Yeah, we gave up 60. Yeah, it was like 62 attempts, 623, and 6 touchdowns.
That'll leave a mark.
Hey, defending national champs, take this L on the way out, opening week. At home. With nobody. Well, they had people there, of course.
I heard Orgeron saying,
they changed their protocols. He said they're opening up alcohol sales at LSU.
Yeah, like we're bringing people in and we're getting the booze flowing. We need to, we can't win here without our drunk fans.
Yeah. It's the only way they're going to make money.
You gotta love fucking Louisiana. They don't give a fuck. New Orleans, Baton Rouge.
I like that Orgeron too. I just knew his team was going to be shit.
Yeah, you have to be. How do you lose that much and then you're not? I mean, it's not like he's been building for 6-7 years. Like, hell, even if the Buckeyes lost 15 or 16,
he wasn't doing shit until Joe Burrow got there. He wasn't doing shit with that team until Joe Burrow got there. I
want to see him develop a quarterback one time.
Oh, he can't. For Joe Brady did.
Right.
I mean, that was all the offensive coordinator. Orgeron's not developing.
Yeah, Joe Burrow doesn't even know what Orgeron's fucking saying.
Yeah, he's like, Joe, what the fuck? Can we just go in a separate room? Can I just talk to you instead?
Right.
This guy's doing the fucking tackle drill with the D lineman. I need to go work on fucking film room.
My kid's got some Czech coaches. They're always yelling at him. I'm like, what do they say to you? He's like, I don't know. So you're always shaking your head like you understand what they're saying. He's like, I don't know what they're saying. I just shake my head. I think that's what Coach O's players do half the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't understand him when he's talking to the broad on the sideline.
Right. I'm anxious to see how things pan out here once the Big Ten starts up and we see some more football and we actually can compare ourselves against some of these teams. I'm not seeing anybody other than Bama that really, I don't know, that shows me any concern. I mean, Clemson, they haven't played anybody.
No, they
see
haven't
them play
played.
Bama, Notre Dame.
But, I mean,
I don't care. I want Clemson more than anyone.
Sure.
Clemson's good. You know, we know Clemson's good. We know Bama's good. Nobody else. I would say nobody else in the country has shown me. Yeah, they're where I thought they were, or they're at the level of title contender. I really think it is 3 teams, and I'm saying Ohio State, and not even seeing a practice, but knowing the culture in that program that those guys are going to be ready. Just going off that feeling, there's 3. I think there's only 3 teams. Well, you know what? Florida. I'll put 4. Florida. I think Florida has shown they just have talent. There's talent on the field. They're playing right. So I say there's only 4 teams that even have a shot or a crack at the national title, or making an impact.
I'd say just one, Ohio State. That's it. The other teams.
Well, I mean, we lost 8 spots in the rankings just by.
I haven't paid close attention to Bama and Clemson this year. Obviously, Clemson's going to be tough. I don't know.
Bama
Everybody came
good.
back.
Right?
I think
Bama
we're
looks
on a
like
mission.
Bama always looks, man. Bama looks like what they always do. Mac Jones is for real. Devontae Smith is a stud receiver. Waddle.
You better be ready your defense better be ready to play. We got a veteran O-line, a Heisman candidate, quarterback, a loaded backfield, and loaded wide receivers. Your defense, I mean, that's a lot of shit to worry about.
And we have all Americans on defense. We have.
I'm a little concerned about the secondary.
Sure. I mean, we have to be. Joe, we never got into the 2 deep on defense.
We're going to do the 2 deep next week.
Yeah.
On defense.
Okay. That's too much to take in. But I mean, we have all Americans over there, and our linebacking core is as experienced as you would ever need a linebacking core to be.
It's damn near too experienced, if you ask me. But
all right, boys, let's wrap it up, and we'll be back next week. Yeah, we're gonna talk defensive 2 deep next week. How you guys feel about getting in this groove of cranking out these episodes early in the week, especially once the season gets started? Is that going to work for you think?
Yeah, well, it's just on timing of waiting on. I think we should wait on health, the injury reports, from after the game. So I don't know when all that stuff comes out. But looking probably Tuesdays, Wednesdays, I think it usually works out for us.
Yeah, I'd like to get it out
as previous games, getting probables for next week.
I like to get it out as early as possible. They really don't do the injury report until like Thursdays. So, in some schools this year, I mean, they aren't even doing that anymore because of HIPAA. They're using HIPAA regulations. So not even like Ohio State's doing that. I mean, so. Yeah, I think
I get it.
Is best. So, yeah, if we can crank these out early in the week, and especially for the game previews coming up for that Saturday, that'd be useful, I think.
Yeah, I'm probably good whenever. In between dropping kids off at sports events.
Sure. All right.
The later the better for me. Any night of the week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Probably me as well.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, boys.
We will hit you up next week. Thank you, Jeff and Shawn. All right.
All right.
Have a good week.
See you, bro.
Later.
All right, bro.
Later.